All right, welcome back, all. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. All right, sorry, dad jokes. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's keep rolling here with our Macs. I'm going to just share a screen here for a second, and we'll get back into it. So we'll minimize, right? And we'll minimize, and now we're back at it. We have something like this. All right. Now, where were we? We went through all of this stuff. One thing that we can look at, and you may, is the idea of cleaning up or keeping your desktop tidy and neat. Yes. So what we can do here, do this with me. If you go into downloads, go to Go and go into downloads for me. You should have a few files for sure, whether it be from different classes. Hopefully we are slowly getting used to starting to file these away in the appropriate folders accordingly. I gave you this file already. We should have downloaded it. If not, go into week 3 and just click on download desktop test. We're going to be using that in the coming hour. And what I want to do is just drag that over to our desktop and let go. Okay, so there's our desktop test. Okay. Also, let's go in and maybe grab a few files. I'm going to grab this one. A little trick right now with downloads open, try this with me. Hold down the command button. What you'll notice is with command, check it out. It will allow you to do selections on multi-files that maybe not all together, which is kind of neat. So therefore, I was able to select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 files, all kind of different. But by holding command, it's kind of like your shift key, only not. Yeah, whatever it is on a PC, I'm not sure. What I want to do is just grab a few of them. Okay, and we're just going to drag those over to the desktop for a second, and I'm going to let go. Oh my goodness. So what you're going to find is mine just spread out all over the flipping place. Okay, this is a good test. I have a die line that we're creating in packaging and some other things here, PDFs and an Excel file, fractions to decimals, so all this fun stuff. Now, if you find this isn't optimal for me, mind you, because I created my own desktop and I have my own little placers for all my folders, but that's okay. I'm going to show you if you do have a desktop like this and it gets a little daunting and you want to clean it up. You can right click. So hopefully you have a few files on here. I just want to show you how you can right click on your desktop and you have these ability to use stacks, which is really neat. Now you'll notice a few things. Go ahead and use stacks for a second. Hey, cool. So by using stacks, what you're going to find, everyone, is it's going to just take all your files and put them in like folders, meaning notice I have multiple PDFs. And so if you click on that one PDF document, see how it says PDF documents? If you click on it, it'll then drop it down and expand for you. Kind of neat, eh? So if you had a bunch of screenshots, PNG files, it would look like this, PNG files or PNG documents, and then you click on it and you can then do that. If you're like, no, I don't like that, right? You can go ahead and turn stacks off. Click, all right, cool. Now, while we're at it, if you right click on your desktop, you'll notice you have the ability to change desktop background. And if you go in here, it will then launch you into desktop and screensaver. All right, we're going to have a look at this in a second, but you can do it right from your desktop anytime. Okay, and we can go in and grab these, the different files and pictures on your computer. You can create your own, of course, and do that. We'll do that in a second. I just wanted to show you that that's there. You can get info on your Finder, your desktop info here. Okay, so there it is, same as we did before. Use stacks as mentioned, sort by. Okay, so you can snap to grid, right? So you snap to grid there. You can have that on. I don't have it. I'm going to keep it as none, but you can do that. Now clean up. Interesting. So if we clean up, what you'll notice is it then snaps to a placer, right? I don't like that because it just ruined my entire. I wish I didn't do that because it just ruined everything. I've got to go and now move these all back. Not cool, but you can do that on yours. It's fine. This is interesting. You can clean up by name, kind, size, date, So go ahead, clean up by name. There it is, right? Clean up by kind, clean up by, et cetera, okay? Size, tags, etc. This is an interesting one. This is a good one. So I'm going to go show view options. Again, even if you only have those files on here and no folders yet because you want a nice clean desktop, respect, that's totally fine. I have a lot of aliases that I created, of course. Also, I'm hoping we just dragged some from our download, so we are just practicing this stuff. Now, stack by. Notice that we can now change the stack by there. You can change the sort by there. This is an interesting and really important one. So remember, this is your right click on your desktop, right there, show view options, a really important one. Amazing. Now, check it out. Icon size for anyone who's hard of sight. This is next level UX, like this is next level for accessibility. So again, if you have trouble seeing, this is where you want to be. Okay. You also can adjust your grid size. Whoop, whoop. Nice, right? So you can spread them out, bring them together. Okay. You can change your font size. So if you want to go, you know, Mario Big World, there you go. Huge, right? You can adjust the grid. You can adjust the icon size. Notice, right? You can keep your icon super tiny, and that's really big. All right. So, sorry, can we mute unless we have a question? Awesome. And there you go. All right. So, give me just 1 second, everyone. Awesome. Okay. So, back at it. Sorry. So we have that right click on the desktop. This is a really important one, allows you to do all this stuff. Now check it out. You can go to the right, bottom, show how many items are in your folder. Cool. Show icon if you wish. If you'd rather not have a little icon there, you can turn it on and off. It's totally your call. So customize this however you see fit. It is your Mac. I want you to have fun with it, play around with it, enjoy it. Oh my goodness, right? And I will just, let's see what we got here. Snap to, I don't like my snap to on. I'm going to turn that back off. My grid spacing, let's increase that, right? But at the end of the day, what we can do is go in and just move them as we see fit anyway. Okay, sound good? Awesome. So I'm going to leave that where it is there. Now I've got to go ahead and flip and sort this all back out. That's all good, right? And you can grab folders, of course, all at once, move them around at any time. Okay. And we go through and we do that. So again, I don't need to take a whole lot of time to do this. Just takes me a second. You will have, now let's go here, get my folder set up. Okay. Awesome. This takes a second. As mentioned, be great if you want to create your own desktop, make it your own. We're also creative, right? Awesome. Now, this is really neat. I've got a bunch of files here, okay? And we went through this. What I wanted to show you is how you can rename a large group of files, which is really neat. Now, I'm going to keep my desktop file put over here because I want that. These ones are just throwaway. You know what? I'm not too concerned with any of these. So you can grab some files. Now, if you, of course, do want to change it up or use, you know, any image files are fine. But what I wanted to show you is you can actually, not my schedule. And not that one either. Okay. I'm just going to show this as a what you can do here. Okay. If you right click, select on multiple files. Okay. Do this with me. If you have them, even in downloads, you can select on a few files, ones that hopefully aren't important to you or things that of course are important, but you know what I mean. If you go here and rename, this is such a powerful tool. It allows you to automatically rename a bunch of files. You'll notice I used it last for proofing. So if I had, say, a bunch of proofs that I took screenshots of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I know that, you know, if there's like a selection of 7 of them that are for the front proof and 1 of them's for the back, I could then change this, say, to front proof. So if you're doing versions, right, if you're doing version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, would do all the time, you'll notice you can change this, right? So right now you might have find and replace. Sorry, let me go start there. Renaming find and replace, here is where we want to be. So you might have replace text. Try this, go to format instead, okay? So if I click on format, it's going to say name and index. So then I can change it to say front proof or whatever you may be working on. You'll notice it will add a numeric value here. You can, of course, change that from numeric or, number, sorry. I thought you could do ABC, but now all you got to do is hit rename and check out what happens. Boop. Are you kidding me? How cool is that? So now if I go here, right click with all of them selected. So right click, create new folder, selected 6 items. Boop. Proof for customer. Open up. And I now have these in list view. You can have a look at it. You'll notice that I have proof 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 named accordingly. How neat is that, right? Again, this is an eclectic group of files, and I'm not going to be utilizing these for anything. But typically, if you're doing, let's say, screenshots, that can be really handy to just organize a bunch of images, like instantly rename them. Okay, sound good? Awesome. Now, holy heck and Hannah, what else we got? That was your right click, all of your options for cleaning up stacks and sorting by view options. We covered that. Fantastic. We've got these, as mentioned, there are your view options as well. You can have a look at that. Okay. Go. Okay. You can go to any of these files or any of these folders at any time. Okay. So have a look at it. Go to file, go to recent folders if you wish. Your OneDrive utilities, a lot of these things you can put again onto your sidebar in any of your folders. Window. All right, what do we got here? Minimize, zoom, cycle through windows, bring all to front and downloads, etc. So nothing really to speak of there. All right, at least nothing with anything highlighted, right? Once you get into highlighting, and then you can have a look at it, right? Even here, if you look at that, not a whole lot going on. Bring to front, etc. So cycle through your windows and so on. So, but nothing to speak of there. All right. How are we doing? Okay. Anybody want to shout out? We're doing all right. We got some chats going on here. Oh no, what do we not have? Add a text color option to that panel. Cleanup option. Oh, yes, sorry. Okay, David. So you don't have the cleanup option? Interesting. Yeah, it could be that it's maybe a little different. I do need to do an update. So that could be possible something that I got rid of. But if you have cleanup there and it doesn't seem to be there, don't stress. As mentioned, it didn't do anything for me anyway. It was a pain in my arse. I shouldn't have done it to begin with. I'm sure it's helpful in some cases, not in mine, clearly. And again, anything you may or may not have, don't stress. If it's something really important though, and you're like, dude, I really want that, or I need that, let me know, because I'm in the same version that you should be in, aside from maybe updating into my next Monterey. So you could have maybe some features I don't, or some things that I don't have, but literally it would be a version away. So they should be really close. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, across the top, this is important, yes? You have a few things. This sidebar will tell you where things are. And you may be looking at this going, dude, I don't have some of these things, right? You definitely have Spotlight, right? This is how you search your Mac, okay? You may not have your battery up here or your volume up here. I would imagine majority of us do. If you want to throw it in chat, would be awesome. As a default, I would imagine they are there. One thing that I just found out actually from that video is holding the option key is next level. If you go to any of these and hold the option key, everyone, so hold option and click, it will open a plethora of options for you. How awesome. So I didn't know this. That's awesome. You learn something new every day, as mentioned. Yeah. If you hold option and click on these things, it will then allow you to look at all of the different options for it. Now, another thing that was really neat is if you hold option down and you click, well, I said you click on Finder, which doesn't seem to want to work for me, and that's okay. It's all good. So that being said, you can right click, of course, on these down here as well. I don't want to get sidetracked. We'll come back to this in a second. but your right click button, as you all know, is extremely important and helpful, right? Okay, cool. Now, that being said, I talked about up here. Let's have a look at where we can find all this stuff, because that's really important, because you might need to know where your battery is, your battery power, et cetera, and all this fun stuff. And if you're like, bro, mine's not there. Anybody, again, maybe you've already thrown it in chat, can tell me if you've got it. Do you all have like your battery showing up here? I don't know what the default is for all of you now. They seem to change the basic setup on these machines. But at the top right, do some of you have like the battery? So Tanya, yeah, you got yours as custom, and that's totally fine. Oh, awesome. Ashley's like, yep, my battery's there. Amazing. So that's cool. That being said, there or not there, let's have a look at where we can find it. Yes, that's important. Let's get into the next thing. Okay. Right here. And Finder, preferences, the next big thing we want to look at. So we went across the top of our Mac. Let's get into our preferences, which is the insides, all the insides and settings, etc. This is a big one, right? Because this, sorry, I digress, wrong preferences. Right here, system preferences. Sorry, that was Finder preferences. We already looked at that. We want to go to system preferences right here, okay? You can find this in a few different places. This is the easiest way to access. You'll notice I do have an update. Click on the Apple, click to System Preferences, and oh my goodness, lots going on here, yes? Let's have a look. Now, everything you need is here. A lot of stuff maybe you don't need. That being said, the video does show you this neat thing. If you hold down on System Preferences and you go to the very bottom, you can actually customize it and turn on or off settings that you wish to hide. If you're like, this is too much, I don't want some of this stuff. I personally, being like, if you're a newer Mac person, you want to just, I'd leave them on, right? Unless you really feel you don't want to touch any of these things. But it's just nice that they're here. Yes. And so, but that is an option. You can customize it for you if you choose. Maybe again, the one thing maybe for me, and it's kind of a nuance. You have to click and hold, keep the mouse button down. Maybe there's an easier way to do this, but customize the wallet. Apple Wallet and Pay maybe would be one that I don't need because I never use that. But the rest of this, I would probably keep, language and custom. Once you get your settings set, you may want to hide it just so that you don't touch it and accidentally move it or adjust it. That might be one of the reasons you'd hide something. But really and truly, the only thing that I can suggest is if it's something that you're afraid that you don't want to move or change, then hide it. And then it's there, right? Anyway, okay, moving on. Let's start up here at the Apple. What you will notice is my account number is under review because I have it set up to be a phone number identifier. So if something happens, you can then use my phone to then access yeah, you get the idea. So it's a security thing. I haven't done this, but I clearly need to have a look at that. Now we have our name, phone, and email. So remember, this is our Apple ID. So this should have, I probably don't want to go into this stuff, but it has all your private information, etc., right? Your password and security, payment and shipping, your iCloud. Now, this is great. Your iCloud, again, if you're a paid subscriber, you want to pay for iCloud, highly recommend we do that. It's just an added backup, right? I believe mine is like 12 a month, something like that. If you're like, dude, I can't afford 12 a month. Are you kidding me? I'm already paying. I get that. So do what you do. Make sure you have that terabyte backup though, okay? This can be a huge saver though. I think I mentioned to all of you about my computer. So that's that. Okay, app purchases, etc. You have this stuff, and then all the different devices that are connected or can be connected to your or have been in the past. Okay, you go through these settings though. That is all you. You can manage your account here. Okay, click on it. You can go through it, manage your subscriptions, etc. I am in media and purchase, but all this stuff is here. Always, check out some of this stuff. Your ID and privacy, etc. Oh my goodness, I don't want to go too far into it, but that's important. And that will, again, you'll notice I do have an issue that I need to take care of. Hey, you got a family you want to share your Macs with? I do, and I do detest it. because family sharing will allow, I'm not on the same network, but my wife and my kids are all on the same one. I hate it. I just hate that all the photos are shared the way they're shared. I don't like it, and that's okay. But it works for some people. To have everyone's iPad, everyone's phone, and everyone's computer all in the same network can be really handy. But it can be a real pain in the arse because, you know, it's all good. But that is there if you have a family want to share it too. Now, you ready to get in there? Let's go into general settings. Right? You want to change your different color accent colors. Go ahead. You can have a look and change them up at any time. You'll notice they do change on the fly for you. I'm just going to do accent color, right? Go here, change up your highlight, change up your sidebar icon. Notice how it's changing here. Cool. Adjust it as you see fit. Allow wallpaper tiling in Windows. Okay, don't know what that does. Automatically based on mouse or trackpad is our scroll bars. Awesome. Okay, so these are probably default for the majority of you. I don't imagine you have anything else. Your default browser would be set there if you would rather use Firefox or Safari. I personally really like it, Google Chrome, although they're watching. I find that there's applications that run much smoother using Google Chrome than Safari. Safari has been a pain in my ass. And I know it's the preferred Apple browser, but I just find Google Chrome is more stable. Personal preference, you do you. I don't care if you use whatever browser you wish. You want to use AOL, go for it. That's the thing. All right. Preferred tabs, right? Opening, ask, all this stuff. Oh my goodness. You do you, play around with it. Don't care too much on how you go about that stuff, but that is there for you. This one, hey, we made it. So this is where we go ahead and we update our screen. You have a few things here that are available to us. What I want to do here, everyone, is let's go in and I gave you this desktop test and we can go in and let's go into add it. Okay. So I'm at Apple desktop pictures. Okay. And I'm just going to add. Okay. So click on that little plus sign. All right. Now by clicking on the plus sign there in our ad, we can then navigate to our desktop because I know that's where I put it. And I called it out as desktop test. And then I'm going to say choose. Bada boom and a bada bing, and you now have a new, look at that. Isn't that a thing of beauty? I like that. It's kind of nice. Okay, so you have this screensaver or wallpaper courtesy of MT Designs, copyright Mitch Thompson, etc. Now, if you're like, dude, I don't want that, right? No worries. You can change your picture at any time. And you can go ahead and check through the different albums and colors, etc. So if you want to go with just a solid color, right? You have your desktop pictures. We can change these up at any time, right? Dynamic ones. Oh my goodness. All these awesome fun ones. You have that ability to do so, okay? But hey, we're creative and put your own photography up here. Or create your own Photoshop creation, and then you can do that. Sound good? It's that easy, okay? Now, screensaver, sure. Show screensaver after, say, 10 minutes. If you want to turn it on or you're finding that you really like, say, something like this because it's a beautiful thing, go for it. And then you can preview. Look at that. It'll even take you through. Ooh, isn't that trippy? All right. Cool, cool. That's your screensaver and your, and yeah. All right. Good. Have fun with it. I'll come back and change that later. Now, anything else? Anything else? Desktop, screensaver, this is all good. This is all good. Now let's move it into the next one. This is important. This is your dock menu. Lots going on here. And this is really great to ensure that we get this stuff ready to go. Okay. And now mine doesn't seem to want to be working. Isn't that funny? So our dock is the one that's down here. Okay. Let me just get out of here for a second. And mine went missing. Isn't that funny? So I am going to try this. And I'm going to relaunch my Finder because I found that by doing that, what happened was my sidebar kind of got all wacky. Isn't that funny? So notice how, and hopefully this didn't happen to anyone, but notice how typically by clicking down here, this is kind of a good thing that this happened. Okay, not really, but my sidebar is not showing up for me. So I need to fix that. I don't know what just happened. We're going to go to System Preferences. Okay. Regardless, here, that's good timing. Dock and menu bar. Now, this is cool. We have the ability to change our dock and menu bar, whether we go bottom, left, right. Okay. Now your dock menu bar is this thing right here that doesn't seem to want to show up for me. Ah, there it is. See that? There we go. It's showing up now. Magnification on. Let's try it to the left. And we have Genie effect. Let's change it to scale. It still doesn't seem to want to show up for me. There it is. Okay, good. Minimize window application icons. Shoot, I may need to just isn't that funny? I changed the freaking screen and then this stuff kind of gets all wacky on me. Really important though, this Genie menu bar, because this allows us to go through and adjust this, the overall preferences and how these automatically hide and show. Now the menu bar, check this out. If you want to utilize full screen, you can hide and show, say top, and you can hide and show on the bottom. Mine is just gone because it doesn't, for some reason, as mentioned, if you typically hover over top, it will do that. You know what? Shit, maybe I'll try this. I'm going to go in and I'm going to change my screenshot back. Not that that's what happened or did it, but see if I can't get back at it. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to upload. And I'm going to throw this one on. Okay. Come on now. Seriously? All right. I may have to just, you know what? It's just a bar. Yours is all working, I'm sure. Now, again, I'm kind of pretending like yours is working. Do this, just work through it, right? Click these back and forth. And I'm going to put mine to bottom, which you all are probably defaulted to. Okay. Come on back. So close. Oh my gosh. You can turn on and off magnification, okay, to max. That basically means if you go down here and it shows up for you, it will then it just doesn't want to work. That's okay. But there it is there, right? Fantastic. And give it a go, play around with it. This bar is really important though, because it will allow you to, and I can't even get to it because it's effed up. Seriously, you can move your any of these sidebars at any time, everyone. I can't show it to you or else I'd have to leave the Zoom, but that's okay. You can drag and drop these off of this menu bar at any time, okay? And you can also move them in the order that you choose to see them, right? So you will notice this menu bar is extremely important though, the one on the bottom, because it will have little dots. See the dots that are down there under each icon? It's just telling you that, look at how many programs I currently have open. Hey, maybe this is one of the reasons that my machine is saying I'm not happy with you. Well, I think because I was just messing around with my desktop image, it got all wacky and it just doesn't like me today. And that's okay. I need to restart clearly, but I'm not going to do it right now. We can get in and get through these preferences together without having this on. Maybe I'll just try to reset this Finder one more time. So Command Option Delete. Let's do this. You know what? I'm gonna force quit out of here. I've got way too many things open. This is a rule of thumb, always good, right? If you're like, dude, yeah, you have 100 things open. You're wondering why yeah, an error occurred. Thank you. So things like this, I typically don't send, but if you really want to let Adobe know that you're not happy with them, you can write them a note. There you go, and tell them that you suck. Don't do that. It's not nice. Don't need Discord. I do need that. And we do need Outlook. I'm going to turn that off. Google Chrome and Zoom I'll leave on. And there we go. Okay. Again, let's see if we can't relaunch the Finder. Hopefully it'll work this time. And this is great practice. I didn't do this on purpose, clearly. But I'm going to relaunch and hopefully this does fix it. And if it still doesn't fix it, and nope, it does not want to fix. That's okay. I don't even care. It's funny, this one does work. So that's good. So back to system preferences, everyone. So the dock, I'm hoping that the dock menu bar is really the only thing that we need to, that is giving me issue. Hopefully you can all play around with this because it's really neat. Show recent applications in dock, automatically show and hide the dock. Hey, did I just fix it? Is that all it was? Come on now. Genie, scale effect. I don't want to get too excited. It looks like we're okay. I'm going to leave that there for now. It's open. So that's good. So awesome. Automatically hide and show. Automatically hide and show. I like to turn this one off. I always like to have my bar open, just me. You may not, but if you're finding that, you know, this is a little annoying that you always have to be kind of scrolling up or down, you can always do that. My menu bar, for some reason, I want to keep that on because it's not being very friendly today for me. Now, go through these dock options. You'll notice you have this ability to turn on and off. Check it out. There is my Wi-Fi connection, and you can turn on and off at any time. Your Bluetooth, you don't want that on or off. Notice that's up here is where we're looking at, okay? Awesome, turn it on and off. AirDrop, cool. Focus, right? All these different things. Screen mirroring, really cool. If you need to have another monitor, you can do that as well. Display, show in menu bar, okay? Again, it'll only show up if these things are active or working, etc. Oh, wow, that was fun. Sound, right? Probably a good thing. Turn on. You have your ability to go in and adjust that, etc., etc. Some really neat things here. Accessibility is extremely important, right? Show in control panel. If you have any of these things here, the accessibility shortcuts, for example, here can be really handy. Sticky keys, etc. Oh my goodness, all of this fun stuff. All right, can be helpful. Mouse keys, slow keys, how you go about this stuff, keyboard shortcuts, etc., etc., etc. I don't, but it may be helpful. We'll have another look at the accessibility in a second. Here's your battery, show and hide, probably can't hurt. If you want to show your percentage, click that on. That will then tell you if you're at 100% or not, instead of using just the image. Fast user switching, interesting. Don't need it, I don't use it. Your clock. How do you want your clock to preview? Whether you show all the time, whether you want it to announce the time. Isn't that funny? I've never done that before. You can do analog, or you can, look at that little clock up there now, right? Probably digital will be best, and then you can adjust that accordingly. This is all you, so you do it, okay? Spotlight, really important. You're going to use that to search through pretty much anything on your Mac at any time, okay? There is a short key for this. I'm going to actually get you to turn it off in a second, because I hate it, and I'll tell you why in a sec. Show Siri, okay? There's Siri, we love Siri, talk to her if you wish, okay? Good stuff. Time machine, really important. I'd suggest you turn the time machine on. This is something you're gonna be utilizing next week if you haven't already. We will be looking at this next week because that's your backup, okay? And it looks like this, time machine, backup now, etc. Don't need to do anything with this. Typically, what you need first is your terabyte drive, right? 2, 3, 4. I don't care how big it is, but let's just get a drive. We'll be working with that next week, okay? But it's good that we show it here. And golden. Those are all your dock menu items, okay, everyone? Customize them as you see fit. This is your Mac, as mentioned. Amazing. Awesome, possum. Now, take a step back. All right. That was a dock menu. Mission control. This is super fun. Mission control, everyone, I use all the time. You may or may not like this, but I love it, okay? You will notice you can change your keys, your short keys for some of this stuff. If you want your window to open up a certain way, you have your left shift, left control, left option. You can then go ahead and try that. So application window, left shift, right? If you literally hold the shift key and hold left, is it going to work? Oh, function maybe. That doesn't work. I don't know. Never used these, so bear with me. This isn't really what I wanted to show you. Some of you maybe know this better than I do. I've never used it, so it's all good. What I did want to show you, and something that I do use all the time, is our hot corners. This is a beauty, Clark, okay? You'll notice I have 3 hot corners that I always use, okay? I have my launch pad on, my desktop, and my mission control. Now, what does this mean? It's exactly what it says. Give this a go. If I want to change this to say, whatever it may be, quick note, for example. I don't know, this is a bad example, but if I go here and hit OK, and I go down here, it will automatically allow me to do a quick note. As mentioned, this is a poor example. Don't want quick note. Change this to desktop, hot corners. This is awesome. Check it out. So now you can then go to the corners and do that. You can also do this with your finger, which we'll look at in a second, different ways of doing it. But I use it because I have my mission control, which is right here. Mission control is neat because it allows you to do multiple desktops, all right, which is kind of cool. And your launch pad, if I go there, sorry, will give me my launch pad. Now your launch pad is located down here on your menu bar. Okay, and we'll get to that in a second. But use your hot corners as you see fit. If you're finding that it's driving you nuts or you don't like it, just turn them off. Okay, I, again, use it all the time, especially if I have multiple windows, say, open, and I might be working on that, and I have that open, right? I apologize, my computer's not working as optimally, messing around with the screenshot or the desktop, whatever, but check it out. I do this all the time, all day long. Screen, go back. Good, go back. And all I'm doing is moving to the left corner. I can then use my application view here or Launchpad. And then this is great because my application view, I believe it's called, it allows me to then see all my windows that are open. Cool, right? And again, if you find it gets in your way, you're not used to it, it's nuanced, don't stress, then don't do it. But it is there and I use it all the time. So I thought worth sharing. Mission control, as mentioned, is handy because it just gives you everything you need, okay, in one click, okay? Sound good? And again, mine is all finicky here. I don't, it's okay, I don't even mind. That being said, you ready? Try this, Command W. Oh, cool, close a window. Now, if you have 20 windows open because you've been busy working away and you're like, I got 20 windows, here you go, I'll show you. There we go. I've got a bunch of windows open, right? There you go. Look at them all. Again, this is nice because it'll allow me to just kind of hover over top and you can kind of check it out. It typically will give you a text box that shows you or tells you what that box is. Mine is not working currently. I don't even care. That being said, if you want to close a bunch of windows, Command Option, use your thumb, press both buttons down, Command Option, W, done. Nice. That's a beauty short key because you can do Command W one at a time or Command Option W, close all your windows down. Don't need it. Let's start fresh. Okay, cool. So a little short key there. Now, that was mission control. Go in it. Love it. You can have fun with those hot corners. If you want to set up your own custom keys, you can do that as well. As mentioned, I don't use them and hence why mine are not there. Now, we have Siri. Can we all do this together right now, please? The reason I'm adamant about this is because in class, when I'm walking around to help all of you, this gets to be a pain in my arse. And the reason being is that if you have your short key, check this out. Go into Siri, please. Notice keyboard shortcut. Turn it to off, please. Okay. The reason I say that, we are going to use spacebar and command over and over and over and over again all the time. Holding down command and spacebar is our navigation on all of our Adobe products. I don't know why they can't figure this out for Mac users. A lot of Mac users clearly use Adobe products and these are short keys. Why they make them these generic, the most common used shortcut in Adobe product is beyond me. Can you turn this off, please? Thank you. That will just help me because if I come around to help you and I go to zoom in or out, it's going to say, bing, Siri, and I'm going to go, oh, we were supposed to turn that off. So you can enable ask Siri if you wish. I'm just going to freaking turn mine off. No, thank you. Okay. And then I can, it's up to you. That's your Siri. You do whatever the heck you want to do. Anyway, I don't care. The only thing I do wish, turn that off, please. Okay. Thank you. That's your Siri. Spotlight. Cool. you have your keyboard shortcuts here, and you can open that up. Now, this is in your keyboard, which we'll get to in a second. Sorry, let me take a step back. Your Spotlight allows you to do your searches. Any type of search you want to do is located here in your Spotlight. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, you can now look at, you can actually turn on and off. If you want to be very specific on things that you're searching for, you can turn them on and off. Generally, if you're searching, probably just want them all on, but you can, like calculator, seriously. Many of these things you probably won't need on, but that being said, I never changed them. They're there, okay? But Spotlight is great. As mentioned, you need to find something, do it. Cool pick, right? And I'll just do cool pick and let it find it. And then what it'll do is search your Mac and then cool background. There you go. Hey, we're going to be working on this one for a Batman Lego in Photoshop. Woohoo! So we're getting there, okay? But notice how it then allows you to just kind of see, oh, isn't that freaking cool? It'll allow you to kind of see all these really neat things, or things that are hiding on your computer, right? So that's cool, Skull. Yes, nice, all right? So that is your Spotlight. Back at it. What's the next thing? Take a step back here for a second and step back, sorry, so you can see where we're at. All right, we've got Spotlight, language and region. Clearly, what we've got here, English, good. Canada, calendar is Georgian, I guess, okay. 24-hour format, if you want to change that up, you can. If you're in the military, that might be for you. So we are in Celsius. Some of us grew up with Fahrenheit. I don't know why my parents had me in Fahrenheit, but I know both. It's all good. Live text, select text and image. This is wild. I didn't know that you could even do this. But if you open up an image, everyone, live text allows you to actually copy and paste from a picture. And it will actually, you can zoom in on it and you can copy it to your pasteboard, which is like, this is so cool. I think this is a fairly new addition. I honestly, I've never used it before. And I was like, that is so cool. Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, yeah, that's for me. Remember that? We did that together. I don't need that. Anyway, but it's really cool. Yeah. Leave it on. Again, it's fairly new. I've never used it before, but I saw in the video how to do it. That can show you as well if you ever need to do so. Okay. Now, notifications and focus. Oh my goodness. So any notifications you have, you can turn on or off, right? If you don't want these, you can go ahead and turn them off. If you're finding you're getting inundated with notifications from a certain application, you can go ahead and, turn them off, right? What do we got here? App Store, calendar, many of these are all turned on. I can tell you, I typically don't stress or ever get over like with any of these. So you do you, okay? Defaults are fine, I would say. Yeah, you, again, modify it as you wish. Internet accounts. You want to add your, right? This is really cool. I have my iCloud account. I've got my MT Designs, which is my business. Actually, my Mojo is what it is currently. I've got to update this. But if you want to say add a Google account, you can go ahead and do that. It will then walk you through the process. I'm not going to do it, but you can do that. Okay. Add another account. All right. Awesome. And that will then allow it to be set up. Now, I have mine again. My bar is all messed up. I do apologize. I know I'm recording and never goes the way it's always supposed to go. That's something I've learned over the last 2 years. I don't stress anymore. It's good. So those, add an internet account if you wish. Passwords. Woo! That's a big one, right? Touch ID and password. We have a password here. You may have already set this up, right? And that's not it. So there we go. So I'm not going to go through these, but you can set up all of your passwords. Now, you will be asked as you're setting up applications, do you want this to save your password? And you're going to say yes. And so this is a way to save it in your computer, basically keychain, right? Now, I use LastPass for anyone. I'm not going to get into that, of course, but that is there for you. As mentioned, I find LastPass is just so amazing for website stuff, typically where your passwords are going to lie. but that's there. Apple Wallet and Pay, never used it and don't know, maybe I will one day. It's all there for you though. Users and groups, let's check it out. Awesome. You have multiple aliases on the same machine. So in this case, notice I have help desk on here. You don't have this, but if say you wanted to add your significant other and you wanted them to have their own preferences and their own layout, right? You can in fact go in and create a new person, right? Account, have them as a secondary user so that whenever my wife comes to use my Mac, she can just change it from my preferences to hers. It's kind of nice if you need to share, right? But that is there for you, okay? You want to change your password. Really important. This is where you go ahead and change from your old to new, okay? Kind of a big deal. So that is user and groups, okay, everyone? And I'm not going to go into any of that in any greater detail. Now, the accessibility one is really neat. We have the ability to do all this stuff, voice over and vision, enable voiceover. Again,
Welcome to VoiceOver.
Oh, shit.
VoiceOver speaks descriptions of items on the screen and can be used to control the computer using only your keyboard.
Cool. So that can be really handy for anyone, again, might be hard of vision, right? So these accessibilities are amazing for anyone who really needs to dive into those special ones that help. Enable on hover over text. This is interesting. And I don't know if mine, again, is going to work. But if you do have that turned on, press command and try it. There it is. See that? Isn't that neat? So if you have a hard time reading, clicking on hover over text with the command held down, it will then enlarge it for you. Isn't that it's just awesome? Okay. Do I need it? No, but that might be something that you find helpful. Okay. Scrolling gestures, command, all of this stuff. I'm just going to kind of quickly go through. Your keyboard zoom in and out, right, is your command plus and minus. In this case, sorry, command shift. I apologize. So command, let's try that. Command, is it shift? Plus and minus? Yeah, command option shift. Oh, okay. Anyway, doesn't seem to, again, my computer, I do apologize. Oh my goodness. But that's your keyboard shortcut to zoom in on like the actual screen, which can be helpful, right? Now we looked at command plus and minus for just applications, like getting into a window, right? So in this case, right, command minus, right, command plus, awesome. Yeah. Anyway, but this accessibility one is for like literally zooming in on the overall computer. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Again, I do apologize. My computer's being all whack here. Back at it. All right, cool. As mentioned, we have our pointers, our color filters. Change anything that you feel you'd like to do for that. Okay, I'm not changing it. I like my settings the way they are, but this is all here for you, and play around with anything that kind of piques your interest, as it were. Look at that. What does Fred sound like?
I sure like being inside this fancy computer.
Okay, what's Nikki sound like?
Hello, my name is Nikki. I am an American English voice.
Amazing. So have fun. This is your, again, spoken.
Isn't it nice to have a computer that will talk to you?
Amazing. Okay. So if you choose to use that, it is there. Speak announcements, speak selections, speak items under pointer. Awesome. Is there. Again, I don't, but you may. All right, moving on. Play audio descriptions when available. Cool. Okay. Captions, voice control. Oh my goodness. Keyboard. Enable full keyboard access and your options, keyboard preferences, etc. if you wish to change it for languages, etc. I'm pretty sure that's what this is, right? Input, dictation, etc. This is a separate item all on its own, just so you know, the keyboard setting. But we'll come back to that maybe in a second here. Mouse trackpad. I'm going to take a quick break because it has been a little bit of time, but I'd love you to go over all of this stuff on your own. Check through all of these different settings. Again, if any of this piques your interest or you feel is necessary, I'd love you to go in and have fun with it. I'm happy with my default and I've got no issue, but for anyone, it is there. Sound good? Aside from that, accessibility, we'll have a 10-minute break and then we'll come back. We'll do have a look at a few others here, but we're coming near the end, all right, which is great. So we'll take 10 minutes. Let me just stop share. And then I'll stop record. So thanks for hanging in all. You're doing great. It's 33 of you still here. We'll just rock and roll with the last of those settings. Go through maybe some tips and tricks, but you're doing great. Yeah. All right. Are there any questions? Sorry, before I end it. The video is what I mean. Don't go anywhere.